Hi everyone, welcome friends, family, followers, anybody who happens upon this channel. My name is Michelle. This is my channel where I document my journey with stage 4 metastatic triple negative breast cancer, adrenal insufficiency, which I acquired as a result of immunotherapy, and anything else that I find interesting. So I hope you find this video helpful or informative or at least interesting. So this is our update. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, and we are on day 20 of our 21-day cycle of chemotherapy. So I am on Trodelvy for metastatic triple negative breast cancer. And so I get infusions of the chemo Trodelvy on days 1 and day 8 of each cycle. And then on day 9, there is a Neulasta shot to rebuild my immune system. And then we wait 2 weeks until we do it all over again. So that is the current treatment regimen that I'm on. In my last update, I mentioned that the PET scan does show that it is working. It is, there is less metabolic activity in the tumors that were identified in my liver and my spine. And that is what makes me stage 4, is that it has spread to my liver and spine. So it's all good as far as the treatment goes, but I have been having more side effects this time than I did last time. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So what seems to be the pattern, and even last time, so in cycle number 3, I did mention that I had some side effects, GI side effects mainly. So we have this kind of pendulum that swings from diarrhea to constipation to diarrhea again. And that did happen in the last cycle as well. And it happened around the same time. So what we're noticing is around days 13 to 15, or this time it was day 12 to 15 of our 21-day cycle, I am having these side effects. And so it started with a little diarrhea. But if it happens multiple times in a row, I took the anti-diarrheal medicine. I only took one pill one time and then would be constipated. So, but then as it started to kind of fix itself, and then I had diarrhea again, but was home and just kind of was trying to ride it out. What I'm having really is spasms in my abdomen. So really bad cramping. Like it feels like it's going to be the worst diarrhea ever, and it's not diarrhea. It's actually normal or nothing. It's just the cramping and the spasming in the stomach. And so this time, the same thing happened as last time, in that we had some constipation, and then it started diarrhea again, and then there was some blood in the stool, and so they sent me to the ER. I had some blood work and CAT scan. Everything was normal. So there wasn't anything emergent, but I was just having this pain and spasming, and we had to do something different. So the oncologist called in something called Bentyl, which is an antispasmodic medicine as opposed to an anti-diarrheal medicine. And so that seemed to kind of calm everything down and allow me to have a few days of kind of recovery. And now, looking forward, I felt pretty good the last few days. And so I'm optimistic that we can manage this now. I also met with my gastroenterologist just to kind of bring them into the mix as well, so that they're kind of part of the team. And they agreed that the Bentyl is probably the better medication for me, because the anti-diarrhea medicine just tends to swing me the other way and nothing really resolves itself. I'm going to be talking to my oncologist this week about whether or not it's the Trodelvy or maybe it's the Neulasta that is the culprit in causing these kind of stomach spasms, because it does seem to happen in that week off, or that after the second infusion, that happens, the Neulasta happens on day 9, and then day 12 or 13 is when these spasms start to happen. And so I kind of have questions about that. Like, I know that it's a critical part of the treatment plan to rebuild the immune system, but is there another option? Could it be that? Could it be we reduce the dose of Trodelvy? Could we go to every other week instead of 2 weeks on, 1 week off? Are there other options basically that might make these side effects less? Because landing in the ER every 3 weeks is not really something I'd like to do or continue as a trend. So that's where that is. And the ER visit was fine. They have to check everything out and make sure that I'm not bleeding internally or something, and everything was good. So the other part of the puzzle is, of course, the steroid management for the adrenal insufficiency. And I did kind of look back in the third cycle. I tapered a lot slow. Well, I started to taper slower and then ended up in the hospital with that infection. And so my steroids went way up to stress dosing. And so this time around was really the first time that I was home for the entire cycle and trying to manage my own steroids. And so I had a plan, and I sort of loosely followed the plan, but probably was a little bit too ambitious at tapering down slowly, because I really don't like how high doses of dexamethasone make me feel. It makes me short-tempered, a little bit grumpy, I guess would be the word. And then it also makes me kind of swell up. I get the lymphedema will swell, or I'll get like I'll get rosy cheeks and the kind of moon face. And so I am uncomfortable. I feel jittery when I'm on dexamethasone, especially at high doses. And so I try to taper faster than perhaps my body is ready for. So still figuring that part out. And then the other part of it is the supplementation. And again, this is something I've put together with my naturopath previously, but yesterday I did actually review these GI supportive supplements with my gastroenterologist as well. And so the first one is the L-glutamine powder. I mentioned that last time. I have mentioned that before, and people have been concerned about glutamine feeding cancer, and that can be true, but this is a closed system. Your GI tract goes in your mouth, comes out the other end, and if the glutamine amino acid is being utilized within that system, it doesn't really make it into your bloodstream. And so I use this daily when I need it. And so usually 1 to 2 scoops, once to twice a day is how often I take it. I can take it more, but I usually don't. Both my naturopath and my gastroenterologist were very encouraged by the fact that I was taking that, because it is extremely healing to the gut when the gut is inflamed or damaged. Zinc carnosine is a form of zinc that is friendly and helpful and supportive to the gut as well. A probiotic, the similase sensitive stomach digestive enzymes, and magnesium. I do take the triple complex magnesium at night as well, which is all very helpful. The other thing that I've been doing is I do have a magnesium gel, and I have the castor oil packs that I've been doing just to be supportive of the liver. The liver takes a beating with all this as well, and so the more you can support the liver, the better you feel, and the better everything works kind of symbiotically. So those kinds of supports. This week anyway, we're away from chemo enough. I am taking the antioxidant and elderberry consumables from Rocasa, the liver support from Rocasa, multivitamin, omega fatty acids, B complex, DHEA, D3K2. The other little interesting update for this week is that I was scheduled to have my regular 6-month mammogram, and they canceled that because I've been having quite a bit of imaging lately. There's not really any need to do that mammogram now, so we will be looking at the next breast MRI 6 months from now, which is already scheduled, but not doing the mammogram. We're skipping the mammogram this time around. I've had a PET scan. I've had 2 PET scans since my last MRI, and I will be having another one in the next probably month or 2 now, just to check the status, the progress of what the Trodelvy is doing. So that's it. And so short update, and I do have that wig video coming of me wig shopping and the 2 wigs that I purchased, but it's not quite ready yet. I need to edit the video and the pictures and put that all together. So I will see you soon. Have a great day.